Welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris and I'm here to bring the high rev perspective.
And my name is Josh and I will be bringing the low rev perspective.
Alright, today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Columbia 300 Super Cuda Powercor Pearl, and I'm going to be comparing it to the GB5 Pearl and the Hazmat Pearl.
And I'll be comparing it to the GB5 Pearl and the Crown Victory. These comparisons will give us and you an idea of what these pieces look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our honest, unbiased review and rate them anywhere from nuts to trash. Today we are here at Mesa East bowling on a fresh house shot, and with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe and we'll see you out on the lanes.
Alright, just wrapped up throwing the brand new Super Cuda Powercor Pearl. I really like the looks of this one visually. Going down the lane, it definitely wanted to be more of a stronger symmetric pearl. I think this one will be a little bit better with a little bit more volume on the lane, but I think it actually blended the cliff, quote unquote, really well. That stronger shape really makes it wanted to see the friction and kind of be more round off of it. It didn't want to kind of hockey stick off of it, but I definitely need to be a little bit further left for it to really blend the lane out pretty well. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw the Hazmat Pearl and see how that compares. Alright, after seeing the Hazmat Pearl go down the lane, these two fit a very similar part of the bag. They're both pretty strong, symmetric pearls. I think the Hazmat Pearl though is maybe a little bit stronger. It just wanted to see the end of the pattern, and it really wanted to read the pattern in the oil a little bit more than the Super Cuda did. So I had to be a little bit further left than the Super Cuda just to find a little bit more oil and make it kind of blend off the pattern. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw the GB5 Pearl and see how that compares. After seeing the GB5 Pearl go down the lane, this is definitely a weaker shape than both the Hazmat and the Super Cuda Powercor Pearl. I felt like I needed to be a little bit further left just because it wanted to see the friction and kind of go left if I played a little bit too straight. So moving left made me kind of open up my angles a little bit, and almost kind of seemed like it didn't really want to blend the cliff as much as the other two, especially the Super Cuda. The GB5 Pearl just wanted to be maybe a little bit too down lane compared to these two. So ball motion wasn't quite as good as the other two. All right, final thoughts on the Super Cuda Powercor Pearl. This one being not quite as strong as the really strong symmetric pearls shows me that you can have a little bit more versatility, and seeing the ball get down the lane just a little bit more gives you kind of the confidence that it's going to retain enough energy to go through the pins even when you need to move a little bit further left. But it's not too weak to where it kind of get that over-under ball reaction. So I thought it was really good going down the lane. All right, with that being said, I've kind of contemplating whether to put this one in meh or fire. I didn't really think I saw anything that really wowed me to put it in fire, but I thought it could be versatile enough to fit in that category. So it's either in the higher part of meh or lower end of fire. Personally, I think I'm gonna have to go with fire, just because I see how this ball can be versatile and really playing any part of the lane. It's not too strong where you can play left, and it's not too sharp off the friction when you need to play a little bit straighter. So I think I'm gonna have to give this one a fire.
Just wrapped up throwing 10 shots with the Super Cuda Powercor Pearl. This ball for me, I felt like it was pretty big, but again, like it just didn't really blend the lane the way I like to see it. I started a little further right and it was quick to friction, but the moment I moved into oil, it felt like I got allergic to it. So it was kind of a weird shape for my eye to see. There was some execution errors in the middle, but again, it's hard to throw a ball good if you don't really know what it's going to do on the lane. Like I said, as I moved further left, I felt like what was the best way of attacking the lane for me with this ball was actually moving left but trapping it still. I felt like that gave me the most consistent reaction, because whenever I got it to friction, I just felt like it just was like a dog on, unleashing, just going loose. I didn't really know what it was going to do. And now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Crown Victory and see how it compares. Just wrapped up throwing 5 shots with the Crown Victory. This ball is starting to become one of my favorites in my bag at the moment. I felt like with how the lanes were right now, I felt like I could just really throw it anywhere and it would still do the right thing. It was smooth enough and big enough to get off oil when I missed in, and it was slow enough and calm enough when I got it right to where it would still, get through that friction and shape the right way. Compared to the Super Cuda, I felt like it was a little bit weaker, but still a little bit smoother as well, just not as jumpy, not as jerky off the spot. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the GB5 Pearl and see how it compares. Just wrapped up throwing the GB5 Pearl. I felt like this ball was pretty similar to the Super Cuda. However, I did feel like they picked up in the same spot, but I felt like the GB5 was a little sharper off friction. The Super Cuda was just a hair more forward off the spot, and because of that, I feel like the GB5 just gave me a little bit of a better shape. It was a little bit more all or nothing off friction, but I still think it blended it better than the Super Cuda did. Final thoughts on the Super Cuda Pearl. Like I said, I felt like this ball was a bigger, symmetric, even though it's later in the bag, I still feel like it was big enough to where you need it to blend out the lane, specifically when there's a little bit more oil. And because of that, I didn't feel like it was the #1 option for what I'd be throwing out here at Mesa East. And like I said, it just didn't give me 100% confidence in shaping the right way every time. And with that being said, because of that, I'm going to have to rate this ball a meh. I felt like it didn't please my eye the way I like to see the ball go down the lane, and like I said, it just wasn't blending every single time. It was just, could throw the same shot twice and it just would do 2 different things, and wasn't fully in love with that.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.